I live in a rented apartment. If I spread my clothes outside, nobody's going to steal it because there is security. But I don't fancy the aspect of me taking my clothes from the washer and then taking it outside on the string to dry. I don't have the time, and frankly speaking, I am that lazy. If I'm going to remove the aspect of normal washing from my lifestyle, shouldn't it make sense that I remove the drying process too? After all, it's called an automatic washing machine. As a child and into my teenage years, I used the manual washing machine, in which it's just like washing it yourself, but a little bit faster. You would have to feed your clothes in, manually select the height of water you want to put it by pouring the water inside, or you can use a feeder system if you're close to the tap, and at the end of the day drain it, put another water when you want to rinse it. But most people usually use their hands to rinse it, so what's the point of using the washer in the first place? So manual was never really a go-to area, and when it comes to the automatic washing machine, just having the washer process wasn't really recommended for me, so I had to go on full washer dryer. I'm sure you have many questions. You're going to be like, oh, the dryer, doesn't it take much electricity, or doesn't it have much effect on your solar system? Guess what? It does not, because it's an inverter washer dryer. And some people might be like, oh, even so it's going to take a lot. It doesn't. I'm going to show you the proof. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hisense 10.5 kg washer and the 6 kg dryer. Let's get into it. So here is the setup. So that's the soap I use. You can use a liquid soap, or you can use something like this, but there's a specific one whereby it's recommended. I don't think this is bad though. So if you feel anyone is recommended, you can leave it in the comment section. I hooked up the drainage pipe that comes from the back. I hooked it up to this wash hand basin, and you can see there's a lot of DIY here, and then my tying skill is not that great, so I tied it here so that it doesn't move about, because when the water comes out there's a lot of pressure, so I have to tie it here. This is always open, I don't close it, and this is where the outlet of this tap is supposed to be, but I've removed the outlets and I put this inlet pipe. This inlet pipe comes from, I don't know if you can see it, comes from here, so water goes in from here, and then water goes out into the wash hand basin. The water is never too much to the point where it fills up to this point, and I always make sure I keep the drainage clean, so whenever water goes in, it goes out fast and goes out well, because not only water comes out, waste comes out too. If you put anything, or maybe threads and stuff like that, it pushes it out with the water, so this place has to be clean at all times. And also, I've been using it for about 6 months now, and so far so good. It's been holding up well, no broken parts, and I've not had to call in a technician to replace or fix anything. I have not done any personal fix myself. What I would say is the compartment that holds the soap, when you pull it in and pull it out after a certain period of time, when the washing machine starts vibrating, because it vibrates a lot, obviously it functions based on vibration and rotation. So when it starts vibrating, maybe when it's spinning or when it's drying, it vibrates the machine, and then it kind of makes the compartment that holds the soap to pull out a little bit. It's nothing bad, it doesn't affect the washing process. I just end up pushing it back in when I'm done washing. But what I would say is that you can maybe take a bit of a tip if you're having that issue and just hold it in place. I think because my place is the floor is a little bit slopey, so it tends to vibrate and opens towards that side, so maybe the floor is not really that flat at the end of the day. This machine is perfect for anyone, because I use it to wash my duvet, and I think the largest stuff you can wash aside from your curtain is duvet, and I use 4.5 by 6 bed. So if you're using a 6 by 6, it should still work for you, because my duvet is quite large. My duvet is for a 6 by 6 bed, even though I'm using a bed that is smaller than that. So it washes it, but I just have to wash just that duvet itself. The bed sheets and the pillow covers, I have to wash them separately, right? So it does well, and it's just great, and I dry it there to do. It doesn't fully dry the duvet because it literally fills up the whole compartment. It fills up the whole compartment, so it obviously cannot dry fully. So whenever it dries about 80 to 90%. So I just air dry it in the living room, and then I'm good to go regarding that. And I would advise that you don't wash unlike colors together, especially your whites. You should always wash your whites with other whites, and if you're washing some whites with other whites, you should look at some whites that are plainly white and some that are mixed. You shouldn't mix them together, and it's because it's going to change color. As usual, this is a general knowledge, I shouldn't have to be saying this, but if you're a first time user, you should keep this in mind. Do not wash unlike colors. together. There are many settings for the washing. There's the cotton, the synthetics, wool, and even eco. The eco is if you're trying to manage electricity, but to me it's just basically like you're washing cotton, right? But it comes with a manual. There's an explanation in the manual. I might show you the manual so you can maybe have a screenshot of it and have a better understanding. I hope I remember to add this. The cotton wash takes about 3 hours, and adding the drying factor, the drying also takes about 3 hours for the particular setting I used. There's various settings. So at the end of the day, if you're using the most of the settings, which is the eco, the cotton, or the synthetics, you're going to be using 7 hours for a full wash. Now some of you might say, oh, that is so long. If you have good electricity and then you just put your clothes in there and you can go about your day, wouldn't you want that than having to rigorously wash for an hour or 2 of your time and then damaging your beautiful ends? Okay, you might not have beautiful ends, but I digress. To bypass this, I usually go for Power 45. Power 45 is a specific function that comes with this, and this is wonderful. What it means is that you would do your wash, your rinse, and your spin within 45 minutes. That is absolutely great. This doesn't include the drying, no. It does not include the drying, but when you add the drying to it, which takes about 3 hours normally, so you finish your wash in 4 hours instead of the normal 7 hours for a full wash and dry cycle. So it's actually something I use daily. So most of the times when I use the 7-hour cycle, which is a cotton, that's when I want to wash my bed sheets and I want it to have a longer time in the machine to have a full wash. But for my everyday clothing and any clothes that I just need fast, I use the Power 45. But it's a rigorous, it uses a lot of power and it is very fast. But if it's a clothing item that is delicate, I would advise you use the normal 3 hours because that's a low setting and then it tumbles low for a long period of time, which is good for care. But if it's a strong clothing item, you can use the Power 45 because it's fast but within a short period of time. It does vibrate a lot. By the time this video is out, if I'm washing and I happen to be at that point whereby it's vibrating, I will do a video so that you can see. But the vibration is normal. It's totally normal, and it comes with a soundproof. It's a white card, like a cardboard with foam on it, so it's sticky, so you're meant to stick it underneath the washer. So I stuck mine underneath the washer and it reduced the sound drastically. It comes with the machine, and the manual explains how to stick it underneath. If you don't do that, the sound is going to be too much for you to handle. This is the sound it makes when it is spinning, and though it is on 600 RPM now, which is the lowest, I always use the highest, which is 1400. So this is manageable, but this is the lowest. I am currently washing, so I decided to make a video so you can see the power it actually takes from my solar system. Currently in the whole apartment, I'm using between 400 to 500 watts. But I just recently started a washing process and the power surged up to 1.9 kilowatts to 2 kilowatts, variable, dropping and coming up. But this would only be maintained for a few minutes, let's say about 3 to 4 minutes, then it would drop back to around 600 watts. I'm saying 600 watts because 500 watts is around what I'm using in the apartment. The washing machine by default uses about 60 to 100 watts. So this is what it is going to maintain for a long period of time until the next change. That is when it is changing from a washing process to a rinsing process. Then it will draw a lot of power for like a few minutes, then it will drop back down. Same thing for when it is drying. You would think that maybe it would maintain 2 kilowatts for the whole 3 hours. No, it would not. In the very first few minutes, it's going to surge high up and then it's going to drop back down to like 100 or 200 watts. This is something I've noticed for every single wash for the past 6 months that I've been using it. So I can say this with absolute certainty. It only happens in surge, but it maintains a lesser wattage consumption for majority of the time. And you know, my name is Marstein and I make lifestyle tech and unboxing videos. So if you're a brand willing to collaborate, let's go.